Photojournalist Lindsay Williams takes us to the event at the Plaza Bridge.
We need 2 more hooks. I think he's got several.
We're gonna hang life jackets down here. We're gonna make a life jacket station to where people floating the river, if they do not have a life preserver available, they're able to get one. This is in memory of a man who had drowned here in Idaho 2 years ago.
I thought, what can we do to bring awareness to this? And I thought, well, I'll put a message in a bottle. And then it's like, no, can't do that. Environmentally, I can't do that.
So I thought, let's do something that could impact a lot of people, not just for the family, but for anybody potentially. And so I said, let's see if we can get a life jacket station going. We just started asking for life jacket donations, and then I bought the rest of what I got on Amazon. So we will have a life jacket station here and one in town for when they're needed, and we'll just check them periodically.
I'm in contact with all of his family, his sisters and his mother back in Raceland, Louisiana. And this is really important to them. His mother wrote a post and she said to God that she was sending a kiss to her son and that he wanted God to give him the kiss. So I'd like to write on a balloon, a kiss from your son. This is, I think, helping maybe to bring some closure.
Hopefully we just don't lose anybody else. And I hope people take the initiative to use these.
Though Everett may no longer be with us in body, his spirit will forever echo in our hearts, reminding us to cherish each and every moment. To a life well lived, the loss is immeasurable, but so is the love left behind. When someone you love becomes a memory, that memory becomes a treasure.
If we even just save one life, this will make this all well worth it.
You ready? All righty. I've been with the county 15 years, been doing it 15 years, and I've been doing the same route for the last 8 to 10 years. Take you down this road right here. Most of the time when we come in at 2 o'clock in the morning, we're dropping plow as soon as we leave the yard, and we don't pick it back up till we come back into the yard, so we're always pushing snow. Yeah, Snowmageddon was insane. It was 12 on, 12 off for 7 weeks. You'd get your snow at night, and then it'd start thawing out during the day, and then you'd have to, the de-ice take the water. You can see all them cars still sliding around out here. This is a blast, so if you get into a situation where you're going uphill, and you start to slide backwards while you're trying to go up, and you hit the blast, and it starts dispensing 100% till you get traction, then it stops sliding. Hey Steve, just put one big scoop in there, that should be okay. That's the salt, that's our salt pile. I'll drive you through there. Just stopped me off. We had got a truck sent out to Cartwright. He needed some sand. I went up there and got to the top. One car was laid over on its side. Told him I was going to start sanding downhill, and started going downhill and lost control of the truck and had to drive out of it, and almost took out some cars and stuff, but luckily everything turned out okay. Nobody was hurt, no damage to anything. Just take your time, extra time getting to where you're going to go. If you know it's going to snow, take an extra precaution and drive slower. The safer the better. You can't drive for everybody else, but you can drive for yourself. At 2 o'clock in the morning, there's some people that want to do some Tokyo drifting, spinning out, checking out their cars, and they go over curbs and stuff. Oh man, really? It happens the last minute. And sometimes traffic's not very friendly for us. They want to get to point A to point B, and we're in their way. Drivers just need to slow down a little bit, but you get people like in the hills in the route that I'm in, and they have no control of where their car's going to go on a downhill. I think without us on the roads, there would be a lot more accidents than there is.
What's more beautiful than a Boise skyline, right?
If I didn't just eat pancakes, I'd be running up this thing.
Some people think they have a good view of the city from their office.
Yeah, first time I climbed one was when I was 13.
What was that like?
It was a humbling experience.
But let's face it, none of them compares to the view Kyle Laney sees every day.
Fire the crane up. So now, to start the day, I would test all my functions, right?
He's a third-generation tower crane technician, but he wasn't born with no fear.
It's a healthy fear. You have respect for heights.
The highest he's climbed, 748 feet, and now he's pretty blasé about it.
Yeah, when you get up that high, I mean, once you get past 150 feet, it's all the same, right?
We can swing around. Get a view of the skyline here.
His office is a tiny cab that's mostly glass so he can see what he's lifting.
It's not a bad office.
Yeah.
Yeah, my office has got a good view, no doubt.
And Kyle isn't alone. Side Cranes has a number of them across the valley right now.
So we're doing, I think, 7 projects in Boise right now with tower cranes, Boise and Eagle.
Walker Side is in the perfect business. He owns these cranes that are in high demand because...
The buildings are getting taller.
And this crane is tiny compared to the one that's coming.
It's going to be 250 feet tall under hook. It'll be on 2nd and Idaho. And it's the ICCU Credit Union building.
Kyle might end up on that job, spending 10 to 12 hours a day at that height, and it has its challenges.
So there's one question on everybody's minds when it comes to these cranes, and I'll give you one guess what it is. The first one, of course, doesn't count. You know what it is. It has to do with going to the bathroom, the porta potties. In fact, one of these porta potties is probably about as big as that control pod at the top of the tower.
So Kyle says if you gotta go, you bring a bottle or a bucket with you on your climb. And if the weather gets rough...
We can see the weather coming in from any different point, out there. We can kind of watch it. It's like a wall of snow be coming in, right? The town's getting blanketed.
Are there times you have to get down fast?
Yeah, there's been times, right? You see storms coming in and you gotta get a move on.
Fortunately, the tower is grounded, so a lightning hit goes around you, not through you. And the structure is strong enough to lift thousands of pounds, but the strongest structures always flex.
Did you say flex in the crane?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah, it's quite a bit of flex in the crane. So as you're picking, it's kind of like it'd be kind of like a fishing pole, right? You get the fish on and we start bending down, right? Yeah, you get quite a bit of flex.
And that's one more thing most offices don't do.
Yeah, it's a pretty sweet job. Yeah.
But it's just a walk in the park for Kyle Laney. It's hard to imagine the massive scope of the recycling stream in the Treasure Valley until you see the nonstop daily action at the Republic Services Sorting Center.
So this is the last conveyor belt. We've got all of our containers on here that are aluminum and plastic.
Plastic has been a recyclable material without a permanent home until now. China stopped taking it years ago, and other consumers were hit and miss. A new polymer recycling center in Las Vegas, though, is a game changer.
This is all the plastic here. Yes, sir. Mixed stream. That's a mixed stream of all your plastics.
The Polymer Recycling Center is the first of its kind in the country, and it helps sort the plastic even more.
We've sent a couple test bales to our polymer center to make sure that we get some analytics on the quality of the material that we'll be sending. They've said that our stuff's really good, it's good to go, and then we're going to be sending our plastics full time beginning in February.
The resulting plastic will be turned largely into new bottles for companies like Coca-Cola, but cooperation with cities to educate the public are still on the back burner for now.
It's really going to be good because the Polymer Center, from what I understand, has optical sorters. So it's going to be able to separate it out into its different grades, and which makes it a lot more recyclable.
Still, change is less than a month away. Bubbling and frothing water infused with oxygen and special microbes. That's the heart of a water treatment plant. This one in Meridian and others like it in the Treasure Valley prepare millions of gallons of water a day to go safely back into the environment.
Our laboratory staff here does about 2,000 samples a month. They're testing for things like biochemical oxygen demand, suspended solids, total coliform, fecal coliform, E. coli.
The water must meet strict federal standards for those elements in order to be released. But before that happens, the water here can tell you a lot about the community it comes from. In fact, it's like one big petri dish.
It's the megacolon of the community. It is everybody's sample all at once.
That's a slightly gross way to put it, but it is accurate and highly useful, like a big brown crystal ball.
We just got off of a big spike in COVID in the community. People were coming out sick with either flu or COVID, and I saw that 2 weeks before it happened.
That advance notice lets hospitals prepare for an influx of patients with things like flu or COVID. Regular testing of the wastewater is delivered to scientists at BSU and other labs around the state and takes almost no extra effort.
It doesn't add anything to our workload, so we're pulling that influent sample regardless in order to meet our permit requirements.
COVID, norovirus, and flu are the main things tested for today, but Mortimer says the future possibilities are endless.
It'll be incredibly useful. It's still in its infancy, so things are being developed every day, every year. People are still working on it. I think antibiotic resistance is the next thing to use this for.
As for privacy concerns, scientists say it would be nearly impossible to identify one person from this witch's brew of nastiness. So how long will this testing go on at the wastewater facility? The administrators here say as long as those who want it request it.